news coming in today as Amad Diallo and Matthias de Ligt are spotted back in Manchester United training ahead of a huge Europa League clash on Thursday. Will they be available to play? Laurie Whitwell comes in and gives an update on Liam Delap. He is open to the Manchester United move, and I think if he wasn't open to the Man United move, we wouldn't be putting this much effort on Liam Delap. But we are interested in Gyokeres, and Fabrizio Romano has given us an update on Viktor Gyokeres and Franco Mastantuono that we've been linked to. But what did I say in Sunday's live stream, there's a rumour going around behind the scenes that a medical had been booked in at Carrington on Wednesday. It wasn't publicly reported, it was just people that I was talking to behind the scenes said apparently there's a medical that's been booked in for Carrington on Wednesday. They don't know who it is, but the expectation was they don't think it would be Cunha, because that's such a big signing, it'd be known about. It could be Enzo Kana-Biyik's medical. Today is Wednesday, and in fact, Enzo is on his way to Manchester, and it looks like there's going to be a medical. So those reports that were going on behind the scenes about a medical being booked in to Carrington on Wednesday could very much be true, as Enzo, the young striker, is set to be a done deal. We're going to dive into all of this news, this new midfield target we're looking at. That's quite exciting as well. Some talk on Rashford and sales. So if you do enjoy today's video, feel free to hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Bish bash bosh. Amad Diallo is back in training. Matthias de Ligt also back in training. Toby Collett and Aiden Heaven aren't quite ready yet, which is a little disappointing. But, you know, Amad and de Ligt coming back is massive. Are they ready to start versus Bilbao? Absolutely not, particularly Amad. He's been out for 3 months. Could they be around for the second leg? Could they give us half an hour? Probably. I don't know if Amad will be in the squad for the first leg. Maybe he comes on for 10 minutes. But United want to be careful not to potentially rush him back or take any risks with that. Again, I doubt de Ligt's ready to start, but I think he's probably further ahead than Amad in terms of his return. So I don't expect him to start on Thursday, but I expect him to just be getting a few minutes, maybe versus Brentford, and potentially half an hour in the second leg. Amad, maybe more for de Ligt in the second leg, which is exciting. But we're going to get into the transfer news and stories. What has Laurie Whitwell said on Delap? So Laurie Whitwell went on the Stretford Paddock YouTube channel. Laurie Whitwell is one of the most credible and better journalists when it comes to Manchester United information. And he said quite a few things about Delap, and here were some of the main points that I took from what he said. He said, Bayern Munich have looked at United target Liam Delap. That could be one to watch. They went and swooped Elise. They went and swooped Harry Kane. They might see him as the next Harry Kane, la-di-la. But he wants game time. Harry Kane, game time, unlikely. Also may want to stay in England. Multiple Premier League clubs have inquired about Delap. Delap is open to joining United, which I put in bold. Open to joining United, but connection with Wilcox, who signed him at City, United seen as a compelling option. So what we know about Delap is obviously he was formerly at Manchester City, which means, you know, moving to Manchester United, you never know what his stance would be on that. But Laurie Whitwell, who's very credible, said he's open to United. I think the fact that United is so in for Delap, was so pushing for Delap, we've been trying so hard on this Delap, but we're just waiting for his decision, says to me that United have to have some indication that he's open to joining, and maybe it's a 50-50 between us and Chelsea, and he's going to make a decision or something like that. Wilcox tried to sign him when he was at Southampton. Sporting almost brought him in when Amorim was there before they came to United. So you know there's a lot of interest from those at the club inside Delap. Delap probably open to the move, just waiting to see what happens with Europe, with Chelsea. He'll look at his game time, he'll look at his minutes. But, you know, Chelsea are definitely a strong possibility of getting Delap, and we've got to bear that in mind, which is why Manchester United do remain keen on Viktor Gyokeres. That has been confirmed by Romano. Viktor Gyokeres will only come to United if we win the Europa League, is the stance I'm getting. Maybe we don't win the Europa League, maybe he comes and we finish 15th, but when he's going to be 27 in this summer and he's in his prime, or 28, he doesn't want to, I think he's 27 in the summer. He doesn't want to wait around 3 years for Man United to be at the top, because he knows he's at the top level now. So he wants to be playing at the top level. When you're 23, you're happy to go to a project. But when you're 27, he wants to be playing at the top. So while United are keen on Gyokeres, without UCL football, it's less likely. Despite rumours that a deal is closed, despite rumours that Gyokeres gave his word to Amorim and he's come to United, I'm going to be honest, Arsenal are the favourites to land Viktor Gyokeres. So let's go into the news on Enzo Kana-Biyik. Enzo will travel to Manchester today to sign his contract with Manchester United. Now, I'm not aware of who this source is or who this source of information is, so I couldn't tell you if they were reliable or not. But what I do know is on Sunday, people were saying behind the scenes, it wasn't said publicly, that Manchester United had booked in a medical for Wednesday, but Manchester United were not letting people know who that medical was for on Wednesday. So the fact that he's arriving in Manchester today, and there was the rumours on Sunday that a medical has been booked in, it makes this report look more credible. This could be a very credible source of information. He could be. I don't know that. I just don't know. I don't know how reliable this guy is. I'm not familiar with him. But he's saying Enzo will travel to United today to sign his contract. Now, I know from people I've spoken to that are reliable that Manchester United expect Enzo to be a done deal. The deal is almost done. Obviously, because he's a free agent, they only need to agree with the player. Manchester United had talks with the players. Manchester United believe it's going to be a done deal. There's a confidence that this deal is almost essentially done. We're just waiting for those final details to be done. So I do think we could get a here we go very soon for this player. I think this deal looks like it's essentially done. He's coming to Manchester to complete the move. You know, we don't need to agree anything with Le Havre. He's a free agent. He's talking to Manchester United. He's now on his way to Manchester United to sign his contract, complete the move, have the medical. Bish, bash, bosh is what I believe. And that's exciting times. I'm not going to act like I watch, under 18 French strikers. I don't. I'm not going to lie. Do I do research when I link to a player? Yes. Do I know loads about this guy? No. But he's Sinister next Akite Isak type player. He's going to go in the academy with Chido, with being cheery, just have a lot of strikers there, a lot of competition for the youth ranks. And that's exciting to see. Harry Amas, is this player that we signed a couple of years ago. He's now pushing. We've got Leon, who's coming in, who could maybe, potentially push in the future. But the Aiden Heavens, the Enzo Kana-Biyiks, the Seko Konis, Diego Lungs, the Chidos, the players have all come into the academy with the hope that in a couple of years' time, they'll push the first team players. And if we get a few injuries, we can pull up Aiden Heaven, rather than having to go into a really inexperienced player. So let's continue on into Mastantuono. Apparently I pronounced his name wrong. Is it Mastantuono? Or so, I don't know. Tunto? So, I don't know. Tell me. Anyway, Man United and Chelsea are both interested and well informed of the situation of Franco Mastantuono. Now, I can absolutely see why Chelsea are in for him, and Esteval and Franco is another level agreed from Chelsea. But Kenda, they've signed as a right winger. Esteval is a right winger, very different to Kenda. Kenda is a touchline winger. Esteval is a half-space winger. The way I would describe it is Esteval is more similar to Elise. Kenda is more of a direct touchline sort of winger. And now they want Franco. Kenda's coming in, left-footed, plays on the right. Esteval's coming in, left-footed, plays on the right. Yes, Franco can play central, but then they've got Kenji Pires coming in to play central. I just... Do you need him? Do you need him? You need a goalkeeper. You need a centre-back. You need a box striker to challenge Nicholas Jackson. And you probably need, because of Lavia's injuries, another player in there for depth and potentially a ready-made winger. I don't think you need another kid. I think you need a ready-made player, Chelsea. But you know what? It's Chelsea and a young player. They're so greedy. So greedy. But what do we know on Franco Mastantuono? River Plate are pushing to extend his contract. United scouts are regularly tracking the 17-year-old. Real Madrid and PSG are monitoring closely, seen as one of the top talents in young football. I think it'll be a race between United and PSG, and I think we'll miss out if we do not have the funds come end of the window. We're prioritising Delap and Cunha. We're then going to sell. We're then going to sign a centre mid and a centre back. Then see what other sales occur, and then we might make a move for him late in August when he turns 18. I think if PSG have the money and are ready to do the deal now, he will go to PSG. I think if it goes to August, because 37 million is what River Plate want, and I think PSG don't want to spend more than 25 million because it's still a huge risk, I think there's a possibility of this deal happening. It's definitely one to watch because the interest has been confirmed by every reliable source. We've also looked at Ian Suberbury. Sully was talking about that as well. Continuing on, United and Liverpool tracking Stade Reims midfielder Amadou Kone. He's valued in the 20 million price tag. I'm not going to act like I know a lot about this player, but the gist I get about this player is he's 19 years of age. He's an incredible talent, the type of player that a Brighton might go for. Seen as the next Camavinga. I see him more like Gravenberg, to be honest, but very good physically. 6'1", very athletic, very good duel winner. He uses his frame well. He uses his frame well to hold the ball, to carry the ball. He does the defensive side well. I think he's decent on the ball, but I think there's limitations in terms of picking the right pass and awareness, which can be impacted by age. But I think that this is an exciting young midfield talent. I think we do need somebody a bit more ready-made, in my personal opinion. I like him. I'm happy if we sign him. But I still think we need someone that's about 23, 24, natural progressive passer to go in our pivot. But could be an exciting one. And then, of course, last but not least, Barcelona are ready to move for Rashford, but I'm willing to pay 40 million. I think 40 million is a very good price for Marcus Rashford, but Barcelona are tight. Barcelona don't have a lot of money. We'll have to wait and see. Also, Sekou Kone is involved in first team training apparently as well. Thank you for watching today's roundup. See you next time. Oh, first of all, I want to add to that as well. It was said by many people that Marcus Rashford's priority is Barcelona and he'd rather go to Barcelona than Villa. If Villa don't get UCL football, we don't know where Rashford will want to go. But Barcelona's what he wants. Will they pay up? Who knows? Thank you for watching. Bye.